How are you, friend?
So far, so good.
I think we are alone. I know there is a student with us.
Laura.
Sanchez, yes. We have one student. Something is something.
Yeah.
You should stay just for making company.
Well, Jerry, I'm looking forward to have a coffee with you, but in live, you know what I mean? No by Skype, you know?
But that's possible nowadays.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. So I think maybe in phase 2, we should meet, okay? To have a coffee or something. All right?
Okay. Is that a promise?
Okay, a promise is a promise.
Take it for granted.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, George. Good afternoon, kids. You know that we have something pending, something that was a homework, and this homework had something special. And the special thing about the homework is that it was use of English, a real exam, 2 parts of that real exam, I think it was part 3 and 4. And the importance of this exercise is that it is helping you to be prepared for the real exam, because they were exams some years ago, and because they are exactly the way Cambridge is going to evaluate the use of English with you. Part number 3, let me show that to you, is the London Underground map. So I want to show you the text. Give me a sec. It is, where is it? Where is it? Here. Aha. The London Underground map. And this is the story of how British created a map for the underground with a new illustration that the rest of Europe is using nowadays. Is an schematic way of showing the map of the underground. And it says, I'm going to read it for you. The London Underground map. Many people would agree that the London Underground map is extremely, this is the example, is extremely well designed. It is not only simple and easy to understand, but also quite what? For you, can you copy your answer? Attractive for Alex. And for Mike is attractive too. Nobody else? Okay. Alex and Mike, your answer is correct. Attractive. And most importantly, it performs its primary task of guiding both Londoners and 26 for Mike is tourist, in plural, tourists, and for Alex is tourist. Well, it is in plural, Alex. Londoners, plural, and tourists, plural. Round the underground season in the city very well. Yes, Alex. The map behind this grade 27, this grade what? Achievement for Alex. And for Mike, achievement, correct, friends. Yes, achievement was called Henry Beck. He was an 28. Employer, Alex. Employee, Mike. Mike is correct. It's not employer. It is the employee. Employer, empleador. Employee, empleado. In this case, employee. of the London Underground Drawing Office, and first came up with his design for the map in 1931. The map, which had been in use before 1931, was messy and 29 and what? Messy and unclear, Alex. And you, Mike? Unclear, yes, correct, and unclear. Beck decided that a 30, a what? That a traditional for Alex, traditional for Mike, very good. And what about Laura? And what about Natalie? Well, traditional is okay in 30. Traditional map, which gives accurate information about distance, was not necessary for the underground, and instead produced a diagram which showed only the stations on the underground system. This new map was an enormous 31, an enormous what? Success for Alex, success for Mike. Very good, success is correct. An enormous success with the public when in 1933 it made its first what? In number 32. Appearance for Alex, appearance for Mike. Thank you very much. Appearance is the perfect answer. Let's continue. The first appearance on underground platforms and at station entrances. The design of the map showed grade what in number 33? Origin for Mike, originality for Alex. Originality is correct. A great originality because it provided a very clear representation of a highly complex network of 34. Communications, Mike, communication, Alex. Both are correct. It can be plural communications or singular communication, both acceptable. So the answers are in 25 attractive, in 26 tourists, in 27 achievement, in 28 employee, in 29 unclear, in 30 traditional, in 31 success, in 32 appearance, in 33 originality, in 34 communication or communications. Very good. Think that some years ago, I remember that I had this exam in class and the results were not good. So if you have 6 correct answers, you are passing this former evaluation. Part 4 is always similar to this in the exams, in the real exams. They always give you some sentences for you to reproduce using other words with certain conditions, minimum 2, maximum 5, and you have to use the word given. In number 35, which is the first one, you have to use my. The initial sentence 35 is, while I was on holiday, a lot of interesting things happened to me. Now you have to use my. They begin the sentence, they finish the sentence. So how can you fill in the blanks? Well, I have only Mike and Alex in class. So listen to me. I'm going to give you the answers. If you don't agree, if you don't coincide and you have questions, please tell me, right? But according to Cambridge, in 35, the correct answer is, during my holiday, 1 mark, I had second mark. I repeat, during my holiday, I had a lot of interesting experiences. Check it out. Compare with your answer. Is there any question? ¿Hay alguna duda? Is there any question? Could be I lived. Let me see. When I was on holiday, a lot of interesting things happens to me. During my holiday, I lived a lot of interesting. I live an experience, but I have to look for it, Mike and Alex. Because in Spanish we say viví una experiencia. Yes, we say that, but in English, I live an experience. I have never seen that. But Mike and Alex have lived. I am copying the example. Alex, give me a second. I have lived. It's an example. I have lived an interesting experience. I'm going to look it up in the. You know what? In the collocation Webster collocation dictionary to see if this expression exists. Alex, as soon as I have an answer, I will tell you. The only thing I can tell you is that I have never seen that expression in English. I live a beautiful experience with that girl, or I lived a beautiful experience last holiday. I have never heard that. But I promise, Alex, I'm going to look it up and I will tell you as soon as I know. Well, friends, let's go on. The 36. Well, reference is also useful for. Maybe yes, Mike. Maybe yes. But a well reference gives you a lot of examples. Imagine that they don't have this example, but it exists. That's why I'm going to look it up in I repeat, the Webster collocation dictionary, or the Oxford, which is very, very popular, the Oxford collocation dictionary on the web, and they give you all the possible adjectives, verbs, to have an experience, to live an experience. If live is not in the list, it's because live doesn't make collocation with experience. But you don't worry that I will do it while you do other exercises in class today. 36. It was careless of you to leave without locking the door. And you have to use ought. According to Cambridge, the perfect answer, not the only, the perfect, is you ought to, one mark, have locked, second mark. I repeat, you ought to have locked the door before you left. Check it out. In other classes, the problem was have locked, because the students use you ought to lock, you see. But if you use ought to lock in infinitive, lock, it has a future or present implication. However, the example 36 is in past, so you have to use the present perfect, have locked, because it's similar to Spanish. Deberías haber cerrado con llaves. Deberías haber cerrado, have locked. Well, now, number 37. Is Pete likely to change his mind? Robert asked. And you have to use chance. So, according to Cambridge, the answer should be, is there any chance, one mark, of Pete, second mark? And this was a disaster in the exam some years ago. Is there any chance of Pete changing his mind? Rob asked. Because it's not similar to Spanish, Is there any chance of, hay alguna posibilidad de que, of it, why it? It is not, it's not possible because it is Pete.
Sorry, I understood this, but I have only any chance of without it.
Yes, that's correct. And now you have to use who, in this case Pete, because the initial sentence is Pete likely. Es probable.
Pete. Okay.
Sí.
Pete the name. Okay.
Pete. Yes. I'm sorry. You misunderstood. Yes. No, it's Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But is there any chance of Pete changing his mind.
You need to add the noun, no?
Yes,
The noun Pete.
yes, the name, yes. Para que diga lo mismo, es probable que Peter cambie de idea. Para decir ahora, ¿hay alguna posibilidad de que Pete cambie de idea? Preguntó Rob. 38. Paul is the only person who has replied to the invitation. And you have to use nobody. And what is the answer? According to Cambridge in 38, the perfect answer is, apart from Paul, 1 mark, nobody has, second mark. Apart from Paul, nobody has replied to the invitation. And now, next page, 39. Are you familiar with his teaching style yet? And you have to use used. Have you got, 1 mark, used to, second mark? Have you got used to his teaching style yet? ¿Aún no te has acostumbrado a su estilo de enseñanza? Have you got used to his teaching style yet? Check it out. 40. It was such a sunny day that none of us wanted to do any work. You have to use felt. None of us felt like, 1 mark, doing, second mark. I repeat, none of us felt like doing any work because it was such a sunny day. Now, 41, Barbara couldn't sing or dance, and you have to use unable. According to Cambridge, the best answer should be besides. Being unable, 1 mark, to sing, second mark. I repeat, besides being unable to sing, Barbara couldn't dance either. What's the meaning of felt up? But where do you have felt up? In number 40. Alex, where I use felt up in 40. Felt up, no, because it changes the meaning. No se sentía como para hacer. That's the meaning, felt like doing. Felt like doing. No se sentía como para ponerse a hacer nada porque hacía mucho calor, hacía un día muy bla, bla, bla. So felt up, I have never seen felt up. Fed up, yes. Fed up, yes. Es cuando estás harto ya de algo. Fed up. But felt up, no. You should maybe exist, because this phrasal verb exists, but it doesn't match with this exercise. Besides of, Mike, besides of, in number what? In number 40 or 41, Mike, besides of, in 41, let's see, 41, besides of, and what is next besides of what? What did you write after that? Besides of, how did you continue, Mike? Besides of being unable to sing, besides of, the problem is the of, that we never use of in this sentence, in this after besides, because besides for English people is además de, Besides no es solo además. Para el inglés también es además de, y el de ya está ahí. Además de tú y yo, besides you and me. Además de cantar, besides singing, no usamos ese of, aunque está implícito, pero no lo usamos porque serían dos preposiciones juntos. Decía Alex, in where reference feel up means tener ganas. Ajá. Sí. ¿Y cómo hiciste tu oración, Alex? ¿Cómo es tu oración? ¿Esta qué oración era? Perdóname, la 40. ¿Podías copiarme la 40 con ese feel up o felt up? Well is felt up to in 40. None of us. Alex, pero qué escribiste? Porque dice, none of us. I wrote, none of us didn't feel up to. None of us didn't feel up to. Feel up to. Y el verbo do, seguramente. Alex Pérez Montilla, but there are more than 5 words. O sea, pusiste, didn't feel up to do. Didn't feel up to do. No, hay 5. Hay 5. Las contracciones cuentan como 2. None of us didn't. El problema es que, mira, none es negativo y después viene un didn't. De manera que no puedo usar un didn't. Si yo quiero usar un didn't, Alex, tendría que empezar any one of us, para que ahora yo pueda meter un otro not. Seguramente recuerdas esas reglas de la doble negación. Si yo voy a decir que didn't, tengo que decir any, pero no puedo decir nobody. No, porque hay un no. Y aquí hay un no one, hay un no. Y el didn't hay otro no. Y no, en las negaciones no se usan este tipo de... well, and none felt up to do. No, incluso none of us felt, podría ser, ¿cierto? None of us felt up to do, ya que feel up es tener ganas. None of us felt up to do, ninguno de nosotros tenía ganas de hacer. Esa sería una solución también. No he contado, pero creo que está en el número de letras o palabras, perdón, necesaria. Cuenta, porque es así, sin negar si estaría bien. None of us felt up to do any work because it was such a sunny day. Esa podía ser, sí. Okay, well, yes, Alex, that's a solution, yes. Now let's go to 42. Dinner will be served immediately upon our arrival at the hotel. And you have to use soon. Dinner will be served as soon as, 1 mark, we arrive, 2nd mark, at the hotel. Dinner will be served as soon as we arrive at the hotel. These are 16 marks. 16. You need 10 correct answers or 10 marks. 10 marks in general to pass this part of the exam, use of English. And finally, we finished the homework.
Jerry?
Yes.
One question. In sometimes I show this exercise, and I show instead of eight sentence and 16 points, 6 sentence, or
Yes.
even 10. So I don't know if in the exam we will see 8 sentence or more or less. I don't know.
Normally they are 8. The problem is that in class and principally in the book, sometimes they are
Yes.
6 and they can be 4 because it's just practicing. But in the exam, it must be 8.
It
But
is always, no?
yes, 8. Yes.
Because if there is 10, you need more time, and
Exactly. They have,
sometimes it isn't there isn't time for
yes.
doing.
They have everything scheduled and analyzed. And normally in real exams, they are 8. Maybe in practice, in class, they can be more or less because we are practicing and time is not a problem. But in the
Okay.
exam, imagine that you have reading and use of English together is only one exam, 1 hour, 25 minutes, I think. And you have use of English part 1, always the text with the spaces in blank, but they give you A, B, C, D. Part 2, again, another text. And I don't remember the number. I was trying to remember the number, but I don't have here an exam. Give me a second.
The part 2 is that you need to add a word,
Exactly.
one word only.
But they give you no hints. They give you nothing. Remember,
Yes, nothing.
you have to fill in the blanks, but I don't remember how many blanks. I don't remember how many blanks. That's the problem.
I think 8, no? 8 or
Maybe
10.
I don't remember.
But I'm
But
not
maybe
sure. I'm
8.
not sure.
No, I'm not sure either. But they must be 8. Yes. Well, but the time is important because they know they are specialists in exams, and they know that if they limit the exam to 1 hour and 25 minutes, I think, I don't remember exactly, but more or less, or 1 hour 20 minutes, I don't remember. They can't add many items to every question. Imagine that there are 4 parts of use of English, 4, and 3 parts of reading comprehension that consumes time, because reading consumes a lot of time. So I think that there are 8 questions in this part of the exam that you asked me. Well, friends, and now what? Now we should go to the vocabulary of this unit, because this unit, even when we are studying a lot of grammar and things like that, the real principal topic of unit number 11 is medical matters. So we are dealing with medical vocabulary and medical terminology and things like that. And in search of something practical to you, I found an exercise in a different book which I consider to be interesting for improving your vocabulary in medical terms. This is, I'm going to show you, I think this is it. No, this is not this one. Here. See this? Illness and treatment. If you give me a second, I will send it to your WhatsApp group. Wait a second. Wait a second. Where is it? My God. Have you received it? Good. Very good. Friends, look at the first exercise. Symptoms. The page is divided where the title is illness and treatment. So everything is medical. In number one, the symptoms, and we are going to work with the symptoms now. Number one, symptoms A, match the words and pictures. For example, he has, this is America. He's got, this is England. Let's use the British way. He's got a temperature. He's got a temperature, fever, temperature. What is the picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, that represents that? Well, in number 6, I see a boy with a thermometer in the mouth. So I think that he's taking his temperature. So I would write in a temperature, I would write number 6. Do you understand the exercise, Mike and Alex? Very good. Well, let's do it. Very good. And now let's go to B. Observe B. Match the sentences. So you have a group of 6 sentences with number and 6 sentences with letters. And the idea is that you have to match each of them. For example, number 1, she is unconscious. Unconscious. I think that the best option for number 1 is letter D. Observe letter D. It was so hard on the train that she lost consciousness. So this is perfect, because if you lose consciousness, you are unconscious. So number 1 with letter D. This is the exercise. So I'm going to give you some minutes, Mike and Alex, for you to do symptoms, exercise 1, part A and part B. But please, friends, as soon as you finish, send me a message to check your answers and to correct possible mistakes. Let's work. Alex, finished? Okay, friends, let's check the answers. You know, the second was a cough. A cough. What picture do you think it is? What number? 3 for Alex. And for you, Mike? Okay, it's 3. Now, a headache. What number? 5. Very good. A rash. Very good, Mike. A rash. What number? 2 for Alex. And 2 for Mike. A blister. Well, this is the example. It's number 1. Una ampolla, a blister. And a pain in his chest. What number? 4 for Alex. And 4 for Mike. He's been sick. What number? 10 for Alex. Okay, it's number 10. She's sneezing a lot. She's sneezing a lot. 8 for Alex. And 8 for Mike. Well, her finger is bleeding. 11 for Alex. And Mike. Very good. His ankle is swollen. 9 for Alex. And Mike. Very good. And her back hurts. 7 for Alex. And 7 for Mike. Excellent. Now, letter B. Match the sentences. Number 2. She has a sore throat. With letter F for Alex, F for Mike. Correct, correct. 3. She has diarrhea. With A for Alex and for Mike, A. Correct. And number 4. She feels sick. C for Alex. And B for Mike. No, it's letter C. She wants to be sick. She wants to vomit. So that's the problem with sick. Because you know that sick and ill are similar, but ill is more general, and sick normally has something to do with the stomach problems. So when people say in a bus or in a metro in England or in North America, I want to be sick, the meaning is not que él quiere enfermarse o quiere estar, no, que lo que quiere es vomitar. Por eso al lado de sick tiene vomit. She wants to vomit. Number 4, letter C. Now, number 5, good, Mike. Number 5 is she fainted. B for Alex. Number 5 is B for Alex. And B for Natalie. Natalie, hello, friend. Yes, and you, Mike. Okay, well, let's go on. B is okay. She's breathing, but her eyes are closed, and she can't hear or feel anything. This is typical of fainting. 6, she feels dizzy. What about 6? What is the letter, the most difficult? E for Alex, E for Mike. And for Natalie? Natalie? The same. Okay, very good. So you see, my friends, in exercise number 1 in this copy, you have a lot of vocabulary that has to do with medical terms, things that are very common. You don't have to be a doctor to use these words. In normal conversation, you use beautiful words like, for example, vomit, beautiful, diarrhea, my God, beautiful, dizziness, blister, stomachache, headache, earache. Oh, you have an awful cough. Or she's always sneezing at this. Things like that. The second part of this page are illnesses, the plural of illnesses, and injuries. They are different things. In injuries, you need to have an accident. Illness is not an accident. Match the illnesses or conditions with their causes or symptoms. And again, friends, you have a list of illnesses or conditions, and you have another list with letters with the causes or with the symptoms of these illnesses, conditions. For example, number 1, he has flu. Remember that flu is influenza. In Spanish, is la gripe. So I think we can connect number 1 with letter I. Observe letter I. My God, it's not this, is this? Letter I. My God, give me a second. Letter I, which is he's got a temperature and his body aches. These are the typical characteristic of a flu, you know. You have pain in your body and you have a temperature, you have fever. Continue with 3, 4, 5, etc., matching the numbers with the letters. And when you finish, please send me a message. Alex finished? Very good. Let's check the answers. He has flu, number 1, connects with I. And number 2, he's caught a cold. He's caught a cold with E for Alex, E for Mike, and Natalie, the same. Okay, well, number 3, he's allergic to cats. Number 3 connects with letter H for Alex, H for Mike, and Natalie H, correct. Very good. Now, number 4, he has asthma. Asthma, similar to Spanish. He has asthma. The spelling is different, but the pronunciation is similar. Number 4 connects with letter G for Alex and for Mike. Natalie G, Mike G. Okay, very good. You are right. 5, he has high blood pressure with letter A for Alex, B for Mike, A for Natalie. A is correct. It's 150 over 100. Well, 6, he's had a heart attack. Number 6, with letter B for Alex. For Mike is B, for Natalie is B, correct. Very good. And number 7, he's had a stroke. What about number 7? C for Alex, and for Mike and Natalie, C Natalie, C Mike, correct. 8, he has food poisoning. 8, with letter D for Natalie, very good Natalie, D for Alex, D for Mike, very good. Stop a minute, stop. Food poisoning, intoxicación alimentaria, food poisoning, very good. Number 9, he's twisted or sprained his ankle. Number 9, with letter K for Alex, and the rest of the class, Mike, what's your opinion? Natalie, what's your opinion? K for Mike, Natalie. Okay, the same. Okay, very good. Now, he's burned himself, number 10, with letter J for Alex, J for Mike, okay, well now, he has a bruise on his toe. Number 11, the most difficult, the last word, F for Alex. Okay, very good. So here you have, in exercise 2, illnesses and injuries and the possible causes of these injuries and illnesses and the possible symptoms. But in number 3 is the treatment. The treatment you receive when you go to the doctor with one of these problems. And it says, the exercise 3 says, write the missing word in the treatment column. you have in the box, you have bandage, injection, medicine, operation, rest, specialist, stitches, and x-ray. If you don't know the meaning of one of these words, you can use your dictionaries. And once you finish, you have to write a word in the space in blank. For example, number 1, go to the doctors between parentheses, GP, general practitioner, médico general. He, in case of a man, she, in case of a girl, may tell you to, and this is the beginning. Number 1, take some blank, you have to select. For example, in antibiotics or painkillers. What is the word? I begin looking bandage, injection, medicine, medicine. And you copy medicine in the line in blank at the end. Take some medicine, for example, antibiotics or painkillers. Painkillers, calmantes, and my God, la aspirina es una, what? Analgésico, sorry. Okay, well, you have to do number 2, 3, 4, etc. And when you finish, please send me a message. Alex finished? Mike finished? Okay, let's see this. You know that number 1 is take some medicine, for example, antibiotics or painkillers. Number 2, stay at home and what? For Alex is and rest. For Mike is and rest. Yes, stay at home and rest. Number 3, go to hospital to see a what? Specialist for Alex, specialist for Mike. Correct. Correct. Go to hospital, to A&E, A&E in England. In America, we say emergency. But in England, it's accident and emergency. You may have to, number 4, have an and what? X-ray, Mike. X-ray, Alex. Very good. Have an X-ray or scan to see if anything is broken. 5, have, if you have a very deep cut, have what? In number 5, stitches for Alex, stitches for Mike. Correct. Have stitches. 6, have an what? In number 6, injection for Mike, injection for Alex. Yes, have an injection when a drug is put into your body through a needle. 7, have a what in 7? Bandage, Alex, bandage, Mike. Correct. Have a bandage put on to keep the wound clean. 8, have an what? Operation for Mike, operation for Alex. Correct. Have an operation when part of your body is cut open to remove or repair a damaged part. Well, friends, this is all the vocabulary you need to speak about any medical problem at the level of patients, at the level of regular people. Because here you have the symptoms, the illnesses, injuries, the causes of the injuries and the treatment. Very good. And now what? And now we have to go to the student's book, page 124. Page, this one here, page 124, speaking part 2. And now I am sure that Alex, the monitor, remembers the characteristic of the speaking exam. Part number 1, personal questions. Part 2, pictures. They give you 2 pictures. Look at the pictures here. Look at the question at the top. How important is each activity for staying healthy? And in one picture you see a man who is coming from the office to his house riding a bicycle. So he is using a bicycle to commute to his office. And in the second picture you see 2 young girls, I think, like preparing a salad. That is, they are preparing their food. And the question is, I repeat, how important is each activity, going to work or going to study, using a bike, riding a bike, and preparing your own food? How important are these activities for staying healthy? Imagine that you are in the exam and these are your pictures. I think that these 2 pictures have a lot of possibilities. In exercise number 1 of the speaking, you have an activity. It's a previous activity that maybe helps you to have more vocabulary for the exam. Complete the table below with these phrases for getting out of difficulties in the speaking paper. Between parentheses, you can use them in any part of the paper. The paper is el examen. Phrases for getting out of difficulties. So they are going to teach you some expressions and phrases that you can use when you are in difficulties in the oral exam. For example, I can't think of the word, but it's a type of, this is when you don't remember the word and you need a solution because you don't want to stop speaking. You want to continue speaking because if not, you fail. I can't think of the word, but it's a type of recipient which is metallic, and because you don't remember being, so you describe the being. You don't remember the name of what? Imagine you don't remember the name of microwave oven, microwave, and then you describe the microwave. It's a kind of device where you put the food to heat it, etc. I can't think of the word, but it's a type of what device in which you put the food, and in seconds your food is ready, heat and everything. The second, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's used for heating the food. For example, I'm sorry, what I meant was, lo que quise decir fue, what I meant was, let me think. Estás pidiendo tiempo para pensar. Let me think. No, I mean, no, es decir, what I want to say is that, what's the word? Logically, the teacher is not going to tell you the word, but it's a way of gaining time. Sorry, I mean, and what they want you to do is that you ubicate these phrases into one of the three columns when you need time to think, when you can't think of a word, when you are made a mistake, when you've made a mistake. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for you to collocate this in the corresponding column, okay? Well, Alex finished. And Mike. Well, friends, in the column of when you need time to think, you have let me think, for example. Yes or no? Let me think. In the column when you can't think of the word, there are many. I can think of the word, but it's a type of blah blah blah. I'm not sure how to say it, but it's used for blah blah blah. What's the word? And now in the final column, when you've made a mistake, I'm sorry, what I meant was, no, I mean, What I want to say is that, sorry, I mean, these are the possibility in every column. Now, I would like you to listen to some students, I think it's Antonia, the name, doing this speaking part of the exam. Antonia receives these two pictures on page 124, the man riding a bicycle at night and the girls at home preparing a salad. Listen to Antonia taking this part of the exam. See, the girl sometimes doesn't remember the name of the word. She refers to the smoke that comes out of the car. The name is fume, but she doesn't remember the word fume, and she says the smoke that comes out of the car, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes she makes mistakes, and she realizes that she has made a mistake, and she corrects the mistake, which is fantastic too, because self-correction is something that Cambridge teachers appreciate. I mean, I am speaking, I make a mistake, I notice that I made a mistake, and I immediately say, I'm sorry, and I rectify my mistake. That's fantastic. Well, Alex, of course not, because if you are constantly correcting yourself, it's because you are constantly making mistakes. So it's not a good idea. But most of the time, Alex, when we make a mistake, we don't notice. We don't notice the mistake because for us, this is correct. However, sometimes, principally with the third person singular in present, I'm speaking about he or she, and I don't use the s. I don't know why. Maybe because we have studied this a lot of times. We notice that we didn't say the s, and we correct ourselves, and this is fantastic. Jerry, my connection is very bad. Laura, so I'm leaving the call. Sorry. Okay, Laura. Okay, I understand. That's it. Well, friends, this is speaking part 2. Friends, next class, I'm going to take some speaking part 2 examination. But the pictures are different. The picture we are going to use next class at the beginning of the class, because it's part of the homework, are the 2 pictures that you have on page 125, exercise 7. The question is, let me show you the pictures, sorry. These ones here. They are different pictures, you see? And the question is, why is it important for these people, the people in the 2 pictures, why is it important for these people to deal with their problem? Why is it important for the woman in picture number 1 to be careful with her problem, to go to the doctor, for example? Why is it important for the woman and for the rest of the people in the bus? And why do you think it is important to the girl in the second picture to solve the problem she has? I think she has a problem with the shoes, and maybe she has a blister. Remember blister? Ampolla? Maybe she has a blister. Or maybe something worse. Maybe she has a twisted ankle, which is more serious, and she has to do something immediately before it begins swollen and swollen and swollen. Because if she doesn't solve the problem, she won't be able to get back home. Well, this is going to be your oral exam next class. Everything in life, Alex and Mike and Natalie, depends on the attitude. Because if now you think, oh my God, next class I have to speak about this picture, which is very difficult, etc., and you don't prepare, you are not taking advantage of this English course. So my suggestion is try to prepare it beforehand. As soon as you have a minute before next class, try to say, I'm going to say this about this picture, I'm going to say that about this picture. I'm going to try to find similarities both pictures show, and if possible, I will find differences. While in picture number 1, the woman is on a metro or on a bus. In the second picture, the girl is outdoors, maybe in a mountain. See, trying to find differences and maybe similarities, because they give you extra marks in the oral exam. Well, Mike, imagine, what can I tell you? Take into account that we don't have any other class until Monday next week, and today is Wednesday. I think that you should try to get a minute, because if not, we cancel the speaking practice, which for me, in fact, is not a problem. But the idea of these courses is training you for the exams, so you do what you can. I mean, do the best possible. If you can prepare it, prepare it. If not, we continue our classes, because I can't do anything about it. Well, now, friends, I repeat, one part of the homework is exercise 7, page 125. Alex, no, you really think he's talking about the day that we are going to... yes, Alex, the day that we are going... you mean the real exam, Mike? Yes, I understand now. Sorry.
Yes. I mean because we have como mucho, no sé cómo decirlo, 20 minutes for preparing the exercise. And
No.
We can see the vocabulary, and we can prepare so good.
Yes, you are right. The day of the real exam, you mean? The real exam.
Yes, I mean this.
Yes, you are right. And Alex is right. Thank you, Alex. Yes, now I understand. No, it's true. That's why I insist in practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Because believe it or not, friends, let me tell you something, because I have taken, my God, a lot of examinations in many countries, not only here, not only in America also. I took examinations around the world. And the real thing is that after you've been practicing and practicing for this exam of Cambridge, there is a moment that you do the exam mechanically, you know, mechanically, because you prepare always similarities, both pictures show differences, while in picture number one, blah, 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 in picture number two, different things. And you get 2 extra marks mechanically because you found something similar. Both pictures show something different, while in picture number one, in picture number two, mechanically 2 marks extra. And then you speculate. You speculate, because this gives you, speculation gives you 0.5 marks. For example, the woman in picture number one seems to have caught a cold. I don't say that she has a cold or she has a flu. No, I don't say that. I speculate, because she has a flu gives me nothing. She seems to have a flu gives me 0.5 extra. Parece tener un resfriado. See that? So I know that. Why do I know that? Because I have taken a lot of examination and I always practicing with you in classes. Remember, I try to do always the first exam myself. It's because I want to train myself, to be trained. That's why, maybe that's the importance of these exercises. If you prepare for this exercise in this class, in reality, you are preparing, creating abilities in yourself, creating abilities in your vocal point of articulations for facing the exam with good conditions. It's like the person that is a athlete, and you know, this person has to run every day in order to be ready the day of the real race. But they have to train every day. You don't have time. You are right. You don't have time to prepare everything. They give you the pictures. They make the introduction, and you have to begin speaking. You have 1 minute for doing this. The only thing that helps you pass the exam and pass the exam with good grades is the practice and practice. Next class, it would be great if you could, both of you, could take the exam with these 2 pictures. Today we have studied a lot of vocabulary dealing with medicine, so you can speak about a twisted or a sprained ankle. You can speak about blister, si es que deciden que sea una ampolla. You can speak about a cold. We study an expression. She seems to have caught a cold. I know, Mike. If you two are the best of the best, to be honest. I can count you always. Yes, Alice, of course, my monitor. I know that. Well, friends, next class we are going to begin with this. The other part of the homework is serious enough. It's very serious. Because I would like you to go to page 125. No, it's not 25, sorry. It is 38. Imagine that. Page 138. Let's go there. I'm looking here. 38. 138. Because on page 138, we have the vocabulary and grammar review of unit number 11. So when you do this homework, you in fact will be revising again all the grammatical topics of unit number 11 and all the vocabulary we studied in unit number 11. Conclusion: the homework for next class is the exercises on page 138 and the speaking exam. Friends, that's all for today. It's been a pleasure, my friends. See you next week for next class. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.